Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the league for round 3 at Brands Hatch. I am joined by my co-commentators, Bad Rhymes and People. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, that's an interesting thing you bring up. I think the combination of the cars and the tracks this season has made passing extremely difficult, and we've seen a couple teams last week get a few penalties due to just aggressive passing behaviors. And oh, you're only hearing my voice. Okay, give me 1 second. I feel like every time I start up OBS, it always just like resets the Discord thing. So annoying. Okay. Bad Rhymes, can you say something?
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you guys. They should be able to hear them. Can you guys hear Bad Rhymes?
Coming through.
All right, cool.
Cool. Yeah, so I think it was cool that you're saying that it's going to be interesting to see the races here, since you're not going to be the sprint races specifically because you can't pass in the pits. And I was saying that it's going to be interesting as well because track position's everything, and so it's going to be extremely hard to pass. And with that saying, we're going to start the sprint in just a few seconds, so we'll hop into the racetrack right now.
Anybody you guys have a close eye on for today?
Well, Sneak up front there. I'm interested to see what he can do at the front. He's been having a bit rough of a season, but a sprint race is a good chance for people who've been struggling a little to get some points, so I'd like to see Sneak do well. Doesn't look like Lamb King is here. Interested to see Dino, what he can pull off in the sprint race.
Oh, and Motsky got a really good start there, jumping Sneak on the line, but Sneak has the inside and retakes the position for first place.
Glad you pointed that out. I was about to say, you could see Sneak on the start, all the oversteer he had right on the launch. These cars are hard to keep pointed in the right direction.
Pretty clean start though, given how tight it is in those first few corners.
Did like the move to go around Motsky there. It looked like a little bit of the old NASCAR bump and run. You know, nothing intentional or dirty per se, but just a little bit of contact on hard racing.
Everyone
back marker all the way up to third.
Oh, a little bit of a bump there. Gets some damage on Nixon's front spoiler.
Nixon's had such bad luck.
Yeah.
Oh, Motsky off the road there.
So something happened. Motsky went basically, he must have gone off one of the sections there. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
And that was Killer Pros off into the right-hand side of Nixon as he passes him.
You know, though, it's looking a little cold on the track here, so definitely cold tires on a cold track. It's not a great way to start. So I think we're seeing the effects of that on the first laps here.
It's a lot of corners that are much tighter than you think in a car that's very prone to power oversteer.
So we've got Riley in the fourth.
Tires.
He was in the back of the grid on lap 1. Back marker, he was in 11th up to 3rd. Dino 9th up to 5th. So a lot of people making moves pretty quick here. But Sneak, pretty nice to see him staying out in front. Now, I was going to say that it's hard to make passes on Brands Hatch, but it doesn't seem like anyone's letting that stop them.
I think we had quite a few people in a good position to capitalize on a little opening lap chaos as well, which I personally believe is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of that in these. Oh, ollie bolly around several times. Wow. Managing.
Oh my goodness. He just barely missed. I think it was Nixon who like passed him as soon as it was like backwards on the track. There, it's crazy. Here, I think I actually caught the replay for the beginning of the start here. So looks like a number of cars went off on the side there. And then let's take a look here. So back marker in front of, looks like Riley there. So Riley picking up a few positions. A little bit of contact into turn 3. And then some more side-by-side action. And oh, look at that. Look at Ollie Bolly flying through there. It's absolute chaos.
That was a pretty crazy start, you know, and when you're coming down Paddock Hill Bend there, it can be a little scary before you feel the tires grip, you know. And if you don't get it just right, you're going to slide off like we saw several people do there.
Yeah, and especially an entire field trying to take it 2 and even 3 wide. It's difficult and easy car to drive.
Seems like things have settled down a little bit.
Ooh.
I think we all kind of moved at the same time there. Back marker with the sliding in.
Yeah, that was a big man move up the inside right there.
I think I caught that on replay. Let's take a look. Oh, he was pretty far back too. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Just.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not a dive bomb if you make it stick, right?
They didn't even have any contact. It was
Exactly.
Yeah.
really excited to see Sneak staying out there in front. I'm really pulling for him. I hope he doesn't get too sweaty and he can keep it together through the whole sprint race, because he has some quick guys bearing down on him.
I think the chaos helped him out quite a bit. He pulled a little bit of a gap there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see that for him.
A. Holmes up in 6th. That's good for him too. Again, one of the newer racers in the league, so nice to see him doing well in the sprint race.
Looks like Trackhead has gained a little bit of ground to Sneak in the last couple of laps. Oh, Sneak going a little wide there. Is it going to be contact?
A little bit of contact.
A little bit of contact,
keep
but
it together.
Yeah, nothing too bad. I don't think anyone got damaged there. Oh, we're going 3 wide. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
You know, good on Sneak
wow.
there. I gotta say, like, kept it pretty cool in a terrifying situation. Oh, I feel like I cursed him. Sorry, Sneak.
Yeah, the commentator's curse. Look at this. Even Riley was going to get up out of the
bullied.
Yeah.
Getting bullied.
Oh my God.
Smogger done a little better at that one.
I mean, even if Riley wanted to get in on the action, he just couldn't have. There's just no room on the track. That's crazy.
If this is any indicator how the full length race is going to go, it's going to be pretty nuts, because this has been chaotic from the start.
Yeah, very happy to just be here running my mouth and not judging these incidents with you guys over the next week.
Well, you know, when you have a lot of, you know, skilled and aggressive racers on one of these old school British tracks like this with the tight spaces, lots of you know, slow corners, you're going to end up with stuff like this going on.
Well, if you're interested in doing some judging, we have plenty of steward positions available. You get to do.
I think I'm right where I need to be.
You get to do all the work of judging and dishing out penalties and having everyone hate you for it.
No, I think that's a pass. My philosophy on contact's not.
Really, I think that judging and making people angry is right up your alley, Pool.
Yeah, normally I would agree, right? But I do really favor this style of racing, though. Like, obviously not intentionally, like, dirty, avoiding contact, but not afraid of it, right? I think it's super fitting to have a race like that on Brands Hatch, because I know you for sure, Bad Rhymes, and I'm sure Wonka's watched quite a bit of British touring car or just British racing in general, and then it's very, very elbows out.
It definitely is. Yeah. Oh.
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
Two contacts.
The stewards are going to be busy today, or this week. It's not going to be pretty.
Nixon's been carrying those 2 points of damage since the beginning of the race, and
Fighting for his life.
yeah.
I do hate to see that to Nixon. I know exactly how it feels to be real far down in a grid. You know you should be higher in based on your pace, right? To have a frustrating start like that, get stalled out, pick up damage when you're clearly a front runner in the league so far in the races we've had. That's a difficult situation to be in. So I do feel for him there.
Oh, something must have happened with Dino. He was up to, I believe, 6th or 5th at one point, and he slipped back to 10th. So he might have been caught up in some of the chaos. Oh, all the way off into the gravel.
Honestly did well to keep that from being worse.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm surprised that none of this has brought out a safety car.
Yeah.
I don't believe they do safeties on the sprint.
Yeah, sprints.
Oh, okay.
Sprints
Or we would have.
Yeah, agreed. So Riley gaining some ground to back marker once after that 3 wide incident there. Looks like Riley might have an opportunity to potentially win this sprint race. So Riley with 2 wins so far. So
as well.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
Onto the grass to make it too.
Yeah, makes
Brave.
a pretty clean pass. Even before the turn there, had the car clearing back marker's front spoiler. So nice pass there by Riley.
we'll see if he can put some space between him and back marker over the course of this lap.
He's gonna have to be careful taking the normal line into that turn right there. Back marker can send it from very far back.
Seems like a lot of rear aero damage on cars right now.
It's also funny, or it's also a little ironic. Back marker's name and his performance so far in the season has been pretty good. He's the exact opposite of being a back marker in every race he's been in so far.
Yeah, I think he's hitting us all with the old white men can't jump, right?
Seems like things are settling down a little bit now that we're getting towards the end of the race here.
Yeah, it seems like maybe the weather was different than what a lot of people expected. Everyone chose the mediums, but it looks like cars could have maybe even gotten away with running softs today in this sprint race. Maybe track temperatures are a little bit lower than anticipated, which is why everyone's struggling to find some grip out there.
Oh, Nixon.
I don't know if you guys are seeing it as well, but it looks like a lot of the drivers are, obviously you want to utilize the full width of the track, but it looks like a lot of people are being real brave and trying to squeeze a little extra out, dipping those tires into the grass or over the curves.
Yeah, and that I wouldn't really recommend around this track.
Dirty tires on a car with this amount of power is... I mean, you can see that is the quickest route through the fastest line, but I don't know if I'm quite brave enough for it.
guess it's a calculated risk when you're running down these tight stretches of the track.
Absolutely. I mean, it's obviously paying off for some. It seems to be working amazingly for Riley. I'm glad to see Sneak holding on to a very solid finish.
Yep. Good to see. He got bullied out of the podium, but he is holding his own here.
Yeah, let's not give him the commentator's curse.
Again.
Still 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it's still 3 laps to go.
You know, I think a finish, you know, anywhere in the top 10 for Sneak would be a good little boost to the confidence going into the, you know, into the full-length feature.
Yeah, this race is going to be all about keeping your nose clean, staying out of trouble. This race being the feature race that's going to come up for T2 and T1.
Yeah, being flexible with your pit strategy, I think, is going to be crucial, right? Timing that to try and stay away from other cars, out of traffic as much as possible. Because I think we've already seen how dangerous it can be when people are really starting to push.
Yeah, the other upside too is that if you do get damaged, the pit delta for like fixing it is only going to be like 15 seconds or something, because the pit stop at Brands Hatch is insanely fast. So people will be able to fix their damage fairly quickly, and then also they're going to be able to adjust fairly quickly too, because I think the strategies for the feature races will be like higher in number of pit stops and using the softs probably more often than the hards. I don't think it's going to be worth any of the teams to be running the hards this week, but we'll see if anyone does.
Got Hakam33 in the chat, which I believe is V8 Eater, asking to show back marker, see what's going on with him.
Awesome ground.
He has put some space between himself and back marker over these last few laps.
I mean, it's anytime you have that downforce loss from that rear aero damage on a car like this, it's gonna hurt, right? Now, this might be a less painful track than some of the others to experience it on, but you definitely still have some of those fast sweeping corners where you are going to feel that loss.
Yeah, Riley, I think one of the few cars in this sprint race that's making it out with no damage at all.
Yeah, Riley's certainly going to be the person to beat in the feature race. He's showing quite a dominant performance in this sprint race, starting from last place, ending up in first. So Riley will be our winner for the sprint race for Division 2. Backmarker with a solid second place finish. And then Trackhead subbing in for, I forget which team Trackhead is subbing for. Let's see here. It's tough because the liveries aren't loaded, so. But yes, Sneak in a 4th place position finish. Good job, Sneak.
Yeah, actually, I am not sure what team Trackhead is. Well, is he replacing Lamb King?
I think it may be. I think we're also missing Brother Dunkel.
Clearly fed up with the race. Same with Nixon.
Yeah. Understood. Nope, so both Dunkels. Yeah, I think you must be right there, Rhymes.
Kip finishes ahead of Dip. Dip Dunkel crosses the line at 11th place. We got A Holmes at 12th, Killer Pros 13th, and Motsky bringing it home in 14th place.
Well, that was pretty action-packed through most of that race. Yeah, gonna be a lot to talk about in the stewards room this week.
Yeah, the stewards are gonna have their work cut out for them. I'm going to leave the lobby and reload so that we can potentially get the liveries loaded correctly. So bear with us for a few seconds. All right, we're back, and I think liveries should be loaded correctly. Let's just hope so. So yeah, what do you guys think of that sprint race?
That was something else. I'm hoping that we don't see it get that crazy in the feature, but I think when you're doing those reverse grid races, they kind of lend themselves to those sorts of outcomes because you have the regularly very quick guys pushing hard on the guys who maybe struggle a little bit on some of the tracks, and you kind of end up with those situations, which is what makes the sprint races fun, but also makes them, like this.
Yeah, they're certainly more inclined to have a lot more of incidents and whatnot, just due to the setup for sure. It'd be interesting if we implemented some type of like other way to do this, like
Yeah. There's always, success ballast or horsepower restrictions, things like that you can do, right? But I think a lot of the fun in a reverse grid race is like it's similar to like gambling, right? There's no more rewarding way to go from 0 to hero, right, than starting in the back on a reverse grid and getting the jump. Like Riley's got to be on cloud 9 right now, like deservedly so.
Yeah.
But if you're on the receiving end of a little bullying or pressure from the faster guys, it can shake you up a little bit. But I think that gamble is a very rewarding experience.
Yeah, personally, I think sprint races should be started with a rolling start. I think that would be one of the that would solve potentially one of the issues with the grid start being chaotic with the slower drivers in the front and then the faster drivers in the back. I think it would also give the people in the front a little bit more of a fighting chance too to score some points.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a very healthy compromise. Yeah.
All right, so Dinosaur, our race organizers, gearing up to start qualifying. The Eater saying one-shot sprint quali. I don't know if it's a one-shot. It's a 10-minute qualifying session, and then the race is going to be 39 laps. Let's quickly go over the team standings after round 2. So currently, let me pull up the stats again. So currently, Lotus Ford is ahead in the overall team standings with 140 points. Minardi, and this is not counting the results, obviously, from the sprint race that just happened. Minardi is in second place with 114, so they are 26 points behind Lotus, which is not a ton of points, but it's pretty significant. Benetton in third with 88. So really the fight for the championship right now is just simply between Minardi and Lotus at the moment. Then we have Benetton with 88 points, Footwork Mugen Honda with 79, Ligier Renault with 78, and then McLaren with 73. So there's like a huge four-way battle here for third place. And then we have Sauber Mercedes with 33 points in seventh place. Sauber obviously unlucky this season due to running Goodyears instead of Michelin's on their first race.
Well,
Yeah,
they have the Sauber team is all here this week, I believe. So maybe we'll see some better performances from them this time around. But it's going to be a hard fight for them to even get up at that mid pack at this point.
Yeah, and so the first 2 weeks, Dutra had been missing from the race just due to unlucky circumstances, but he will be racing this week. So we'll get to see the full potential of Sauber this week, I believe.
All right, looks like we are starting.
All right, so let's jump on track as we get qualifying underway. So backmarker leads the out lap, and we'll stick with backmarker unless if Riley overtakes him in the out lap. I guess we'll just stick with backmarker for the hot lap and see how he does, regardless of his out lap position.
Already.
Yeah, Riley keen to getting that clean air up front.
Yeah, I can't say that I blame him. I mean, this is a busy track. You can't wait forever to go out. And obviously, you want as many attempts at clean laps as possible, but definitely wouldn't want to be on somebody's tail here. Dinosaur showing some pace, keeping up on the hot lap or out lap as well.
Yeah, I always, I notice that a lot of people that race in these leagues, the different groups that I'm in, they get pretty close when qualifying's happening. And, I try to, you want a little space between yourself and the cars around you. Try and get that clean lapping, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to lose it in the grass. You don't know who's going to have to slam on their brakes.
And other vehicles I can see trying to gamble for getting that slipstream, but definitely wouldn't want to do it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, other than a couple of places, I don't know how much value you're going to get out of the slipstream on this track.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think that'd be the wisest use of your energy.
I know, pushing hard.
Some quick hands to catch a little twitch there too.
Motsky having trouble in qualifying already as well. Looks like he had a penalty there. All right, Riley setting a 1:11.9. Let's see what everybody else starts to bring in. Dinosaur with a 1:12.7. 1:14 from Cecil.
Ollie jumps up to third place with a 1:13.24.
It's like a lot of people are struggling.
Looks like someone maybe backmarker backed out of his lap. Just a 1:36 on his first lap through, so maybe this will be his first flyer now.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Oh
Unfortunate.
no! The and see what
Yeah.
happened here. I think Hippo probably was just. Oh no.
Oh, bad rejoin.
Well, he's got some time. We're only about 4 minutes into the qualifying session, so hopefully back marker will be able to put down a good lap before the time is over.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't get in his head too much. Having a couple of laps thwarted can, cause a little mental distress at times and negatively impact the driving going forward.
Yeah.
Looks like people are struggling to meet Riley's time so far, but we still have a few minutes left.
A. Holmes with time to put him in 7th place, 8th now, as I think it was Sneak jumped up into 6th place. So Killer Pros, see if Killer Pros improves on his time. He does improve, but does not improve position. And position is going to be extremely important for this race. Seeing that passing is going to be very, very difficult. All right, so back marker is now on a hot lap finally. So we crossed the 5-minute mark.
Got a decent amount of clean space in front of him as well.
Yep. Nixon jumps up into 2nd place. We have a lot of Canadians today. I guess we've always had a lot of Canadians. It's just funny seeing the left hand of the screen there with like all the Canadian flags, and then there's the one random Netherlands flag from Ollie Bali.
All right, let's see what we get from back marker coming across the line.
About 3rd place. No. Whoa.
It's
Up
good
to
enough for
6th.
6.
More time to gain. Kip diving out of the way there to let back marker keep going.
Ah, so Trackhead is racing for footwork this week. So Trackhead currently in 7th position.
It's got to be a little rough being one of the reserve drivers. Sometimes you're diving in last minute, no real practice time, just grabbing a tune and a livery from the team and heading to the track.
Yeah, much respect for the reserve drivers for sure. They come in, like last second, and it's very it's very nice for them to come in and dedicate their time for the team when they, last minute someone hops out and is unable to race. So, huge props to them.
Yeah, absolutely. These races would not be the same without grids this full.
But also another great, testament to how well LRC functions and how dedicated the racers are, that when people are inevitably absent from a race, there's always people here to fill in slots.
Yeah. So back marker jumped up into 2nd, and then Nixon took that 2nd place away from back marker, like just a couple seconds after. So looks like there's a lot of fighting for that 2nd position, but Riley is still like kind of untouchable.
Yeah, that 3/10, it's not huge, but it is in this sort of situation.
On a track like this and these cars especially, I mean,
yeah, and there's a little bit of
it's bigger than you'd think.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of luck involved too. You gotta have a good clean lap. And Nixon there set the purple sector for sector 1, but ran off wide there at turn 3. So we'll see if Nixon's able to improve the time overall. Ollie Bali jumps up into 2nd place. Yeah, purple sector 2. So Nixon is on track right now to challenge this provisional pole position from Riley.
Using every inch of track to have a little extra on some.
Oh, goes just wide there.
But he's been making it work for him throughout the lap. I mean, we've seen that a few times now.
Yeah,
And
right
he's not
there.
dropping off.
Just
Uh,
I think he
Cut it
had it.
back.
Yeah, I think if he didn't go off there at I believe it's turn 8. If he didn't go off there, I think he would have had it.
Or just going wide here into turn 3. Because he was solidly 3/10 up coming out of sector 1 last go around. So
Yeah, the exit is so important in these turns. If you go wide, you just lose all the additional speed that you would have down the straight.
and that's one of the more complicated turns on the track. You know, it's got a late apex.
Yeah.
It tightens up about halfway through. And a penalty, so that's going to be the end of it.
I did definitely got a lap in when he needed, so he'll still be on the front row. Got that right back from Ollie Bolly.
Trackhead, our substitute for footwork, Mugen jumps up into 5th place. We got Cecil Turtle in 8th. And Sneak finishing 4th in the sprint race. Currently sitting in P9. Looks like Sneak, Killer Pros, and A-Homes all electing to take a break.
Riley with the pole. He set that, I think that was his first or second flying lap, so that stood for pretty much the whole qualifying session.
Yeah, I managed to keep a 10th and a half or so lead throughout the entire set.
Oh no.
Oh,
I hate to see that for Kip, but I understand trying to wring its neck when you're on the countdown timer trying to get a position.
luckily we're in Gran Turismo, so we'll have plenty of time to get the car ready for the race.
Yeah, quick repairs.
It's a
Shout out
very
to the crew teams.
so it's a very efficient pit crew there. Yeah. So Riley must have set an even faster time. So Riley is now sitting at over half a second of a gap to Nixon, who's got the provisional second position. Only a 300ths ahead of Ollie Bolly. Back marker Reason was able to put in some good times after that kind of shaky first half of qualifying. Is currently sitting 4th for the starting grid. We'll take a look at the rest of the positions very shortly.
Stoles in the chat brings up a very good point about Riley, right? I don't know if you guys have seen him mentioning it over the last couple of weeks about how much practice he has been putting in lately. And, you know, I have to agree with Stoles. It really does show. Riley has been ripping today.
Looking pretty dominant so far.
Yeah, I see if he can continue this kind of performance, I think he'll get the voluntold to move up a division.
Oh yeah, he will most definitely be promoted into Division 1 next season. I think it's just a rule that Dyno has enforced a couple seasons back. Like if you win Division 2, you're automatically just in Division 1 next season.
Yep. So I think Riley can keep up that kind of work. You know, I think he's on the way.
So Riley is going to be starting from pole position. We have Nixon from McLaren challenging Riley in second place on the front row. We got Ollie Bali starting from 3rd place, Backmarker Racing 4th. So a Trackhead in 5th. So 5 different teams in the first top 5 positions on the starting grid. Happy Hippo, Lotus, and then we got Dinosaur, the first of the Saubers, starting from 7th place. And then we got Cecil in 8th. Looks like the room is getting reset for some reason. I wonder maybe if there was a setting that was like incorrect or something. No, everything looks right. Maybe that's just to reset the weather. Who knows?
I wonder if Dino is trying to bring about some rain.
Yeah, I think Dinosaur is a man who likes life with the difficulty set to hard. Speaking of weather, right? I think we saw some struggles to maintain grip, probably with a cool track. Obviously, coming out on cool tires on top of that. But what do you guys think we're going to be seeing for tire choices today? I know, Wonka, you mentioned you're don't think the hards are super viable or useful in this race.
Yeah, I think everyone is. There's a couple of factors that are coming into play this round specifically. So last round, I think people are starting to realize that it's really challenging to pass, especially under the guidelines that we've set for LRC, which is having your front wing by the review mirrors of the car alongside. And because Brands Hatch is such a difficult track to pass on with the dirty air, I think the battles will have to be won in the pits. And so track position is incredibly important, but then the undercut is going to be extremely powerful in this race as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of pit stops, actually. I think the ideal strategy is going to be running predominantly soft tires and then like a medium stint somewhere within the race. Likely the end, because you want to have the worst tire at the end so that if you have track position, you can maintain it when you're battling someone against the softs. But we will see. We might see some surprises. We might see someone on hard, just banking on potentially, safety cars and then gaining position from the safety car, but not having to pit. So there's a lot of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I think that's a wrinkle we haven't seen yet that we have a very good chance of seeing today. Right. Because
given
we can adapt on the fly.
Yeah, I think there is a chance, especially with the weather and the track being the way it is. I think we could see maybe a safety car in the first few laps here. But hopefully not.
I know there's one person on the grid that will be very sad to see one. It is a worst case scenario for Riley with the pace he's been showing today, right?
Yeah, I think Riley will be hoping that they have a safety car free race because he can just beat everyone out on pace. Yeah. Like every time there's a safety car, his lead will be effectively lost. So it'll be reset. Yeah. So yeah, I think Riley will be the person who will benefit the least from the safety cars for sure.
Yeah, that's a real tearjerker when you've managed to claw out a good solid lead and no fault of your own have to hand it all right back.
Yeah, but that's where that's where the strategizing on the fly and being able to adapt comes into play.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever has those backup plans, plans B, C, and D or whatever to get that take into account safety cars are going to come out on top. So whoever spent the additional time to prepare for these situations are going to be more likely to win.
Yeah, and I mean, even without a safety car, like I think we've already mentioned it a few times, but having clean air on this track over a distance race, right? I wouldn't necessarily say an endurance, but a distance race. Yeah, like coming out of the pit at a bad time, right? Popping out right into traffic can be a killer.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race for sure. I think in particular, just seeing the strategies play out, I think is going to be the most interesting aspect for me. I think a lot of drivers are going to be more cautious on track when it comes to passing, seeing that it's very easy to pick up penalties. So I think we're going to see less battling on track and then more of the strategy battles going on through the pit lanes.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. I think with how important track position is here, I think we'll see more elbows out at the beginning opening laps than we will see for most of the race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a distance race, I think we'll probably be a little bit on the aggressive side, lap one, turn one, like a little bit more than usual. But I suspect as thinking as this group is, it will start to settle down as we get into the race proper.
Yeah, I think 5 to 10 laps in, we'll see the track spread out enough that that really passing will happen when mistakes are made or when you pick the wrong strategy for pitting.
I wonder if we'll see any team strategies, like we saw this year in F1 in Monaco, where people were holding up the pack and then trying to create room for pit stops and stuff. Like that'd be really funny to see something like that. All right, Dinosaur's giving us the 30-second warning. We're going to jump into our race very shortly. Any predictions? Anything you guys are particularly looking out for?
I think Riley's going to run away with it. I think he's going to be, flag to flag up in front.
All right.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'd really, really like to see Nixon have a drama-free race, right? I think that's really all he's needed all season.
Nixon's driving is so strong, and it's just the little mistakes that happen to him or happen by him that is hurting his performances. So,
yeah.
All right, so our lights are out and the action starts now. Nixon actually gets a really good start. It's hard to tell who's going to come out in front. Riley is on the inside, so he does have the position. Ollie Bali looks like he's going to challenge Nixon. It did for a second as though he was going to challenge position. But we got Trackhead side by side with Backmarker. Goes deep into turn 2. Backmarker able to get the over-under and take 4th position back. Trackhead still in 5th. Dinosaur in 6th. There's a little bit of contact there. I don't think anyone got any damage though. Dinosaur, I think, went off the track slightly and fell back in position. Ollie Bali though, coming off the track and rejoining.
Yeah, he got I don't know if he got helped along, but went pretty deep coming into was it Druids, I believe.
So that's basically
the left on the bottom of the hill
for him, starting up so far. Oh, more drama. Killapro's off.
Yeah. Happened a little fast. Couldn't see if he had help there or not, but that's unfortunate.
Let's see what happened to
Ollie
Ollie.
Bali's got his work cut out for him at this point.
I think he just went wide. Yeah, he went wide there. Had a little bit of contact with someone.
Like it was Trackhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Cecil Turtle's got some damage on the rear wing. As does Killapro's. Interesting.
Let's see what happens to him. Oh.
Yep. I ran out of time on the replay there.
Yeah.
Honestly, just glad we have some. Very nice.
So, more significantly, no safety car in the opening lap.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a little bit of jostling, but mostly we got away with it.
I mean, I think maybe one should have been called. It looks like we have front and rear damage on some members of the pack. I guess it would be possible to have a collision without both. But
now I believe so. Do the rules for the league work if you cause the damage yourself with no one else involved? Do we get the VSC or are you on your own?
Yeah, if you cause the damage on your own car, there's no one else involved. There's no safety car involved. It's got to be 2 cars at least involved in an incident. And then I think at least 2 points of damage on at least one of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 2 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got Dip and Kip here fighting for 11th place. Out front, the 2 closest cars right now on track are Trackhead and Happy Hippo. Trackhead there going off, and Happy Hippo able to overtake Trackhead going into turn 4. See if Happy Hippo can keep the position.
If I were Trackhead, I'd just be tucking in right now and waiting to come out on the front straight. A lot of people dipping into the grass. Seems to be working for the most part.
Yeah, I commend him for it. I like watching it. I don't know how much I would like to be doing it. But, you know, maybe those are safe pixels.
So Riley has pulled out a bit of a gap between himself and Nixon. Not insurmountable, but he's got to be feeling a little safe right now.
It's like both of them elected to start on the softs as well. I haven't been paying attention to much of the tire choice across the field, but
Yeah, I would
2
imagine
in the front looks like they made the right call.
Yeah, I would imagine the first half, the front half of the grid started on softs, although backmarker is on mediums. Happy Hippo is also on mediums. And Trackhead.
You can definitely see the difference in that tire compound. Just looking at the gap between the groups.
I wonder if anyone did come out on the hards, because as we've discussed, those don't seem to be the tires for this race, but I wonder if anyone took that gamble.
Yeah, let's keep going down the field here. Dinosaur on mediums. There we go. Dip with the hard tire choice. And no damage,
Okay.
so maybe Dip. Oh, and Kip. So both the Ligier cars going for a hard tire choice. This is going to be really interesting. So it seems like maybe their strategy is just to kind of like stay away from the other cars and just go long and have a conservative race when it comes to pace, but and save time being outside of the pits. That might
Looks like
actually
Kip
be
had a
an interesting
spin.
strategy.
Until this situation happens, looks like Kip had a spin there and picked up some damage.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, the pit loss is so short, staying flexible, right? So Kip going in to repair that right away.
Let's see if he sticks with those hards or goes to another compound.
I feel like you'd have to go to softs in this.
Yeah, there you
Switches
go.
over to the mediums.
Medium, okay.
At lap 5, Nixon is chewing through those softs. You know, the softs are probably good for a maximum of 10 laps before you need to get off of them, I think, here.
Yeah, and there isn't a significant difference between the tire wear currently in those tires. Nixon doing an ever slightly better job conserving that front left, but it's not by much.
And I mean, honestly, that might just be the slight difference in pace between them, right? Ollie pushing just that fraction harder. Or, not Ollie, excuse me, Riley.
And the cars do, the Division 2, they do have access to traction control this season, right? But, wide for Nixon.
Unfortunate.
Oh, no, can he?
More trouble for Nixon.
No damage though, no damage. So he is okay.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I hate to see that for Nixon.
Yep. But you know, if there's one thing we've seen from him over the course of the last few races, that
It's a recovery drive.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other challenge of also running soft tires, that they go and lose grip quite quickly once they start degrading. And so you're like lap to lap, the amount of grip you have for each corner just changes dramatically. And you know, while softs are faster overall, like you have to be able to adapt to those changes.
If you can manage it.
Yeah, you have to change your tactics as you go. If you keep trying to push at the same speed you did from lap 1 on lap 6 or 7, yeah, you're gonna cause problems, as we saw.
But yeah, definitely hate to see that for Nixon.
So Riley took a pit stop, and now Backmarker Racing is in the lead of the race.
So he took those mediums, so he's going for a longer first stint. We'll see if that pays off for him, if he's able to.
Even if Riley catches, right, if he can even make it difficult for Riley, right, forcing Riley to wear tires down, trying to get around it, can definitely pay off, and especially with Riley being on those softs as well, with how quickly they degrade.
Yeah, but I mean, he's already been in the pits once. That only dropped him back to second, and he's less than 3 seconds off of Backmarker. So really, yeah, it's not hurting him so far.
I mean, if Backmarker can keep Riley behind him the entire medium stint, that might just put them level with each other, though. So
yeah,
it depends on how easily Riley can find that overtake.
Yeah, and I don't think Riley has to. Or Backmarker has to hold him the whole stint, right? But if he can hold him a good portion and really degrade the life of those, that's it's a well-driven stint.
Yep. If he can keep him, even just for a few laps, you know, use the really valuable life of the soft tires for Riley, I think that will get the job done. Things have spread out pretty well over the track. It looks like towards the back of the pack we might have some battling going on, but other than that, I think the most interesting thing right now is those two guys at the front. Bad news for Snake. He had qualified pretty well, but looks like he has dropped back.
Sneak not able to get that
one.
Yeah, not able to get that overlap going into the corner.
You know, you have to be pretty brave to do the pass through there, and you know, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes.
You are both absolutely right, but I think as a spectator, a good send is always very fun.
If you see a gap and you don't go for it.
I'm so conflicted as a spectator. It's like I want to see the action, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with the aftermath as a steward.
Yeah.
Backmarker Racing keeping the door open for now. He knows that Riley has to get that overlap, the 2/3 overlap, in order to be entitled to space.
Yeah, you can see taking a narrower line right there as well.
Oh, and Riley loses a little bit of control there, likely due to the loss of downforce on the exit of turn 2. That's
Being
pretty
right in that
huge
dirty
for. Let's see here, who's behind it? Happy Hippo and Trackhead. Nixon as well. So Nixon must have taken. Yeah, Nixon took a pit stop. So Nixon could still.
Spin.
That's right. Yeah. Oh no! We just. Oh my God. Commentator's curse.
What a nightmare for Nixon.
Oh my God. And Dinosaur though,
brother,
up
I
in
promise
fifth.
we're not doing it to him on purpose.
For gold. God bless Nintendo.
Sneak peeling
Oh,
off to the pits
nice.
right there.
You are likely. So you got your PlayStation to work finally.
We're being asked to stop talking about or acknowledging Nixon.
Yeah, understood.
So
Oh.
Riley now having to build up that, or close down that gap, excuse me, and catch back up to backmarker.
So Backmarker has been using those mediums to pretty good effect so far. You know, he kept his defense strong, elbows out. Riley slipped up. Do you think Riley should move for another set of softs after this, or do you think mediums to draw out a longer stint here in the middle of the race is a better call for him?
Honestly, I don't know. Let's see, Riley, at this point, his race with backmarker comes down to how many pit stops backmarker is planning to take. Whether it's going to be, he's going to go predominantly mediums or softs for the rest of the race.
I
Cecil-
don't know if Riley needs the pits to help the race come back to him, but I think backmarker, you know, not to say he doesn't have pace on his own, right? But I think based on his strategy and Riley's outright pace this week, I think backmarker needed that, right?
Yeah.
I think if Riley sticks with his plan and keeps his pace up, I think by the end he can bring that back to himself, right?
So Nixon jumps into the pits to fix that front wing, I would think. Was currently in a battle with Cecil Turtle, who's now finding himself getting caught by Ollie Bolly.
Yep. I think that's probably the right move on his part, right? You're carrying damage and then losing time fighting, right? I think just diving in and
So something happened there. Backmarker either getting held up by the backmarkers or Riley pushing hard, or something happened there. But he closed that gap up pretty quickly.
Oh, we got an incident in front. Oh no, backmarker was involved in that, and luckily didn't pick up any damage.
I think
so,
Riley,
thank goodness.
Riley dived into the pits. I think he might have been expecting the BSC to get called there and get a jump.
New set of softs for Riley.
Yeah, it's a pretty early pit for Riley on those softs. It was about half, they were half expended essentially. So
Yeah, I really think he may have been trying to get the jump on a BSC there.
But still with only 8 seconds to backmarker, so he'll close that up when backmarker does come in for his tire change, which is going to be coming up soon. Dino a little wide there. Druids.
that pit stop is so fast. It's crazy.
It's very quick. It seems less than 15 seconds, really.
Yeah, it seems comically fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when like there was no speed limit in the pit lane. They could just like fly in and then just like change the tires real quick and then fly back out.
It's the same with Goodwood, so I think these just older British tracks just kind of have these tight, tiny pit lanes.
A little bit of team orders there as backmarker makes his way around Killer Pros.
Yeah, here's your chance for your Monaco strategy, guys.
Yeah.
That is true, yeah, because now Riley's going to have to get past Killer Pros. But you can see Riley has already closed that gap by 5 seconds. So he is just pushing hard nonstop.
I think for him, it's going to be all about keeping that concentration up, right?
It's interesting, we haven't talked about him much, but it seems like Dino has just quietly been putting in the laps. He's up to 4th now. Might be out of order for pit stops, but seems like he's just quietly putting in the work this race.
Yeah, I think Dinosaur's strategy is just to put on the medium, stay out of trouble, doesn't need to push much, which will lead to less mistakes, more consistency. Knock on wood.
Well, nobody has told us or asked for us to stop talking about dinosaurs, so I think we're okay there.
Trackhead in the pits at the moment. Let's see what Trackhead ends up. Puts the hard tire compound on. Interesting choice.
Interesting.
So Trackhead has
somebody
now,
off on the left there.
I think that was Dinosaur. Oh wow.
Oh no!
All right.
There you go. We talked about him.
We did talk about Dinosaur. Oh my goodness. So Trackhead slaps on the hard tires, and it'll be an interesting strategy call to see if he can keep track position ahead of pretty much all the cars behind him. If he can take these hards all the way to the end, which I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, then yeah, it's really, really good.
So
Definitely banking on an incident-free stat, right?
yeah, that would be pushing those hards, I think, pretty much to their limit, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But he's gonna be, Cecil's right there. So I don't know. He's gonna definitely be dealing with some people.
Lucky for him, he's got a lap car in between them, which does help, right? But
Yeah, in some ways, it's interesting because with Cecil went off. Yeah, Cecil went off there.
That'll
the final
help quite a bit
turn.
too.
I think we've doomed another person.
We were not
really,
talking about Cecil though. That was just.
I think it's really Wonka saying the name that does it.
So we're on board with. I shall not name this person. A driver.
A race car driver.
From the McLaren
Informally
team.
known.
Currently side to side with Dinosaur. Dinosaur has the inside line, but you go side by side through turn 3. Dinosaur still has the inside line, but not the acceleration. And Nixon there makes the pass.
So as we've seen several times this season, Nixon already battling his way back up towards the front of the pack.
And doing it around the outside again.
Yeah.
Doing it around the outside. If he could just have an incident-free race, I feel like we definitely see Nixon up in the top 3, first place even.
Trackhead there
Absolutely.
having difficulty keeping the car on track with the hard tires. You can see them extremely dirty, but still has that 3rd position due to Cecil making that mistake ahead of the start finish straight. So
Yeah, I like the different strategy. I definitely appreciate the gamble.
So somewhere along the way, Riley has made it back up to first place.
oh wow, we completely missed. I think backmarker went to pit.
Oh.
Yeah, so backmarker got a fresh set of medium tires. That's an interesting strategy choice. It seems like backmarker is just gonna do like consistent mediums and maybe like a final soft stint or something.
Yeah.
It's just going for consistency, not trying to be the fastest person on track. I think that's a good play.
Yeah, it's definitely worked out for him. I mean, he did through a little bit of luck on his end and some very good driving, basically, allow or force Riley to waste a set of softs, or fail to maximize the soft stat. I think
Yeah,
it's
still
more
a little
accurate.
surprised by looks like it hasn't hurt him too much, but when Riley dived in there about halfway through the stint on those softs, yeah,
Yeah, I think he bet on a coin toss and came up with the wrong call.
We got a bit of a train forming here behind Trackhead. So it's Trackhead, Cecil Turtle, and then Happy Hippo, Nixon, and Ollie Bali all within like a couple seconds of each other.
it's interesting. I thought we were going to really see the track the whole field spread out by this point, but it seems like people were getting concertina effects, I think maybe by mistakes being made along the way, pushing everybody back together.
Different strategies and a very, very short pit time. Is bringing that all together. Riley back in the pits as well up front.
You can see how hard it is for these drivers to stay behind each other. The aero wash really difficult to keep your car on track through turns 5, 6, and 7.
So Riley in and out of the pits, kept himself in first. I think he might be able to stay that way if he just continues this way for the next, nothing. I'm not seeing anything.
Notice how I didn't say anything? I did not say anything that time, so couldn't have been me. You guys can't blame this one on me.
Trackhead and Cecil side by side through there.
Very nice pass by Cecil Turtle.
Cecil.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Trackhead doing really well there to back off going into the corner to avoid understeering from the aero wash.
I think he knows that this isn't his fight right now, that he's got to just really conserve and make use of those hards and hope that the strategy pays off for him as we get to the closing laps.
Yeah, I think trying to keep Cecil behind as long as possible is obviously great, right? But knowing when not to fight it and just let it through.
Just saw a GG in the chat, so I believe we might be seeing a VSC here. But people are still fighting.
Ooh, great side by side by Ollie Bali going into turn 2. Very nice pass, very clean, making the jump into 5th place.
The good move on tires as one as those too.
There's this battle between Sneak and A-Homes. And Cecil there trying to get through, but... I think,
No, what a bummer for Sneak. Damn.
yeah, I don't know. I think that might have been incident worthy there. It's like a little bit of contact in between Cecil there.
Yeah, I think probably just in a rush to try to get through the lap traffic and build that lead on Trackhead, but super unfortunate consequence for Sneak. I do think it's important to point out
Everybody.
it's very important to point out that the league, the responsibility for passing lap traffic is always on the passing car, right? Lap traffic is entitled to a line regardless of their position.
Trackhead continuing to have a little bit of trouble with managing those hards.
It's a good heads up driving by A-Holmes, so not let that turn into a bigger issue.
Given the amount of contact and incidents we've seen over the course of this race, it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out position-wise once the stewards have their very long day of sorting it all out.
Yeah, make sure to let us know how that goes, Wonka.
A long day. I'd be ecstatic if it would be a long day. It's going to be like a long week.
So Riley managing that gap at this point. He's been sticking around in 11. Oh, Killer Pro's off again. He has been having trouble this whole race as well.
Yeah, carrying some damage as well. It's never helps.
Man, Trackhead, though, is still maintaining that third place position.
Yeah, it seems to be where he's actually picked up a position. He was in 4th, I believe, not too long ago. So it seems, even with the troubles that he's been having, it's working out for him so far. But we have quite a bit of a race to go.
Yeah, looks like Cecil Turtle dropped back 2 positions. So Trackhead and Happy were able to get through.
Wonder how many cars will be left on the lead lap by the time we get to the end of this.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Trackhead managing those hards really well, though.
Yeah, especially when that was a tire we weren't really expecting a lot out of for the race. To see somebody making it work for them is interesting.
Absolutely. Still not convinced they've got another 15 laps in them, but would love to see it.
Could also be, looks like the weather is changing. Maybe the sun's coming out, track's warming up a little bit, so that could be helping people out as well. So Riley on fresh mediums. I'm wondering if he's going to try to push that to the end now. Back marker, I'm guessing, is going to have to make one more stop for softs. Riley with a 1:11.1. That's pretty close to his qualifying time. That's how quick he is today.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. You can see even with the even come out of the pits, just a 2-second gap, 2.5 second.
And you can really, you can see in his driving how smooth he's flowing through the course. We haven't really seen any problems from Riley. Haven't really have a lot of incidents. He is just clockwork through every turn.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's really happened to him is got caught up in a little bit of lap traffic and had that error there. But again, recovered instantly. Yeah.
And that gap already closing to back marker down.
Yeah.
Under a second now.
And I think right here, back marker's got the exact same goal he would have had last time around, right? Which is, don't fight it so hard that you risk the drive you're having, right? But hold them behind as long as you can. Keep those tires up. I think his best shot right now is hoping for a strategy error a bad adaptation to a strategy situation changing on the fly from Riley, right?
Yeah, he's going to be pushing it to get those mediums to the end, but it is possible. But I wonder if we might see these two.
No, elected not to fight it.
Might see these two converge on strategy at the last bit of the race.
Oh, decided to go right in. Okay. It's back markers in the pit.
To hards. Interesting. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, that is a very interesting choice.
That's not going to give him the speed. He doesn't need the length at this point. But I think he's only been running mediums.
Yeah, so you had to take another tire, right? I think.
But the mediums he was on weren't done yet, so
yeah,
could have kept pushing.
Yeah, I think that might have been the better move, but maybe losing that pace, Riley maybe forced a plan adaptation, or losing it that quickly.
Trackhead also on the hards, keeping solidly in third. Curious if Happy Hippo's closing in on him at all, or Cecil Turtle as well. Because that 4th to 7th group was pretty tight at one point. Looks like they actually still might be. Oh, there we go. Happy Hippo right on top of Trackhead, so this is going to be a real test for him. Well, never mind.
No.
He's going to get away.
Spoke too soon.
That's bad.
I don't know. I think Trackhead might be able to take these tires to the end.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a late switch over to softs to wrap it up, but I think he could keep pushing those along.
All right, so Happy Hippo came out behind Dinosaur with a fresh set of soft tires, so Dinosaur is going to find himself in a battle very soon.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna fight that much. Yeah.
I mean, so it seems like it actually is not very difficult to pass as long as the differential between the tires is big enough. Dinosaur was on some worn mediums, and Happy Hippo on some new softs, and that seems like the threshold there that will allow someone to pass. So, like a compound difference, and then maybe a little bit, like half the wear, maybe.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more overtakes than I expected.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, as Wonka pointed out, I think the difference is so big. I don't know if Dinosaur could have fought that if he wanted to.
Ollie Bolly also on pretty fresh soft, so he's going to be coming up on Dino soon here as well. I'm going to guess Dino's going to try to push the tires he's on now for another couple of laps before, I'm guessing, going to softs for the final stint. Armsway in the chat saying fresh rubber on this track is good for 1.5 to 2.5 seconds a pace, so I think we're seeing that a lot play out in this race. When those, and the pit stop, as we've discussed several times, is so short, so quick that, yeah, at the beginning, Wonka, you were calling it that the softs, just hitting those softs over and over might be the way to go.
difficult time putting this to use right now.
Dino putting up a little bit more of a fight here. Oh. Little push from...
Oh, Trackhead there getting into the battle. So Trackhead now on mediums off of those racing hards is able to make a pass on Ollie Bali while Ollie Bali was attacking Dinosaur.
I believe Ollie's on some not too worn softs as well, it looks like.
So Dino...
Oh my goodness.
Big save.
This little mid-pack has been pretty competitive the whole race.
Oh, and Ollie Bali's got to run. Will Trackhead have to defend going into turn one? I think he is good for now. Ollie Bali's struggling to find that overlap ahead of the corner. Dinosaur there, defending for his life. Oh my goodness.
And doing such a good job that it's causing this battle to be pretty destructive for both of these guys behind him.
Oh no, it looks like there's an incident there between Trackhead. I think Trackhead's gonna wait for Ollie Bali there, knowing that he was at fault. We'll see.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Just trying to get off the racing
Don't
line.
destroy yourself though.
There he goes, yeah. So. Good to see that sportsmanship in the league. Always nice to see.
So
Dinosaur's thrilled to see it.
inevitably shows up for the stewards. How is giving that position back viewed in LRC races? Is he still going to suffer a penalty if that's reported, or will that clear it out?
Typically, there will be a penalty still, but one that's less severe than if you were to just keep going. So instead of like a 2 position, that could potentially just be a warning or just a 1 position penalty.
Right, Dino out on the softs for his last stint. Let's see what he can do with those. A great performance by a backmarker today. Pretty solid. Up in second. Riley, 20-second gap. I think he's going to be able to maybe eke those mediums out to the end of the race at this point.
He's got enough of a gap, I think, if he wanted to be drama-free, he could come in and get another set of softs, right?
Yep, that is true.
And as Harm's Way in the chat's so elegantly putting it, pushing these tires past their optimal window is, quote, balls.
The professional term for that.
Exactly.
And there you go. He dives in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart
move.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to change his strategy. It's obviously working.
And still with a 20-second gap. I mean, so that's a less than 10-second pit stop for tires.
Such a shame with Trackhead and Ollie Bali getting into that little incident. I think Trackhead was running an amazing race up until then.
Yep. Yeah, real bummer to see.
But Happy Hippo right now in 3rd place, going into the pits. Oh, almost bends the car on the entrance. Cecil will make his way by, and Cecil is good to the end of the race, so Happy Hippo will be losing out on this position, but maybe we'll be able to make it up with a new set of soft tires.
Yeah, as we've seen that, what is he, 5.5 seconds? That's not insurmountable on this track. So
Yeah.
if he can keep it clean and push hard,
Yep.
you could see them battle before the end.
I mean, we've seen a second and a half difference just on a fresher compound, even when it's not a compound difference, you know? So it's definitely doable.
Looks like Ollie Bali made another pit stop and then has fallen behind Trackhead.
That's the same story here with the tire difference, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if Cecil can hold off Happy Hippo and potentially Dinosaur, who are both on soft tires to the end of the race. Although Cecil Turtle's tires are still relatively new, so like in the next couple of laps, I think he'll be able to have enough grip to be able to fight with the cars on sauce, because they'll degrade pretty quickly.
I think we're really going to see how much more time the softer compound is, right? With wear not factoring in.
So Happy Hippo, Brian, nope, kind of ran it. The gap's not closing, and they've got a car in between them, so that's not going to help. Got a couple of cars in between them. Gets past Kip easily. Let's see. Motsky makes way for him. Rough day for Motsky. Had that incident early on in the race. Pretty great performance from Riley today. Can't really fault him for pretty much anything.
Yeah.
How has Riley been around for a few seasons?
No, this is Riley's first full-time season, I think.
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, nice to see someone new coming in and shaking things up. I guess the same for Backmarker. I mean, 1 and 2. This is both of them their first season, so that's actually pretty impressive. Happy Hippo's shaved off a couple of seconds on his gap to Cecil Turtle. So with 4 laps to go, 3 actually now, but we'll see if something happens there.
Yeah, he's getting real close now. There's only 1 car in between them. Although, is it going to be enough? For in 3 laps, he's going to have to make up 2.5 seconds. And have to make this pass on dip. It'll be a tough.
Oh.
Yeah.
That hurts. Especially here coming onto this straight. Well, maybe Cecil not getting the best exit out of there as well. Didn't look like he lost too much time on that. See, Ollie Bali's back into 5th, got it done on Trackhead. It looks like Ito's gonna have to dig deep to get anything done here.
Yeah, it's 2.3 seconds. A couple of laps to go.
It's a nice battle here for 10th place. Sneak only half a second behind Ahomes.
Feel like we've seen these guys at it a couple of times this race. Sneak unfortunately had that incident. Forget who it was that pushed him off. Oh, we've seen him have trouble here several times. Oh, I feel for the guy.
Riley here just keeping it clean. Just trying to bring that car home on the final lap of the race.
Oh,
Oh, nearly misses Sneak there. Trying to recover back on track. But Riley with a dominating sprint race run, a dominating feature race as well. Definitely contributing to Lotus's increase in their lead overall in the overall standings. Backmarker with a really good run as well. Did not anticipate seeing Hards being part of a winning strategy or a podium strategy. So props to Backmarker Racing and Minority. Good run there, keeping it clean. Making his way around the final corner for one last time. Across the line in second place. Cecil Turtle currently in third, but Happy Hippo not too far behind. Looks like Happy wasn't able to cut that gap down significantly, as they even lost a couple of seconds there.
about a half a second.
Traffic and that quicker degradation on the softs might have been the issue there.
Yeah.
Great job for Cecil Turtle.
Yeah. Amazing result for Footwork Mugen. A podium in D2 after having a podium in D1 last week, thanks to some penalties, bumping Harmsway up to third place. Happy Hippo in fourth, Ollie Bolly finishing in fifth place. And then we got the lapped cars down, so Trackhead, Dinosaur, Nixon, Motsky. We'll go over the results in the lobby here.
Shout out to Motsky. Been struggling a little bit lately. Glad to see him pull out a top 10.
Gotta save that replay real quick. All right, so Riley, our race winner, Backmarker Racing in second, Cecil Turtle in third. To round out our podium, Happy Hippo in fourth, Ollie Bolly in fifth with a solid result. Trackhead, Dinosaur, and Nixon, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Motsky in a solid 9th position finish. Ahomes keeping Sneak at bay and taking the 10th position. Sneak 11th, Kilopros in 12th, and then we have our Ligier brothers, Dip and Kip in 13th and 14th. All right, this is an eventful race. Any comments and anything before we take our break before our D1 race starts?
That was just I mean, there was action start to finish there. I'm feeling sweaty and I was just sitting watching, so I can't imagine how those guys are all feeling right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see some more of that in the Division 1 race soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for having me, guys. It was great watching with you, and hope you get just as much drama and fun on the next round.
Yeah, I will say that I was surprised that we didn't see a VSC, but thankfully, it wasn't as I think it wasn't as chaotic as a sprint race. So hopefully we won't be that busy in terms of steward incidents. But we never know until the races end. So thank you guys for joining. We'll be right back with our Division 1 race shortly. So stay tuned.